Hi, this is Linda, and I'm doing another Talking in American English. This is lesson 13, and I'm going to spend some time talking about the very important, though very small word, to. Students have trouble sometimes with the word to. It seems easy, but there are a few tricks to using it correctly. So let's start with this page. When I do this page, I'm doing a review of spelling and pronunciation, and you may not need that. If so, skip to the second page. But if this will help you, watch this. The unusual pronunciation of the O at the end of a word. The usual pronunciation of O at the end of a word is O, such as so, go, no, potato, taco, echo, and there are many more. The unusual pronunciation of O at the end of the word is in to, do, who. It's very unusual to say oo with one O. There are only a few other words that have one O, like to and do and who, that say oo, like in move. Why isn't that mauve? Prove, why isn't that prove? I don't know. Lose instead of lows. And then the word shoe has an O and a silent E, and the O says ooh, but that's very, very unusual. That's all I could even find, just those words. Now there's movement and provable and improve. You can add to these, but basic word move, prove, lose, shoe, and then the ending to, do, who. So the word to is pronounced to, even though it doesn't fit with all of the other O words. Now, there are other spellings of the sound to, and this one is the one we're going to be talking about today. To plus a verb, like I want to eat, I want to go, I want to run. If there is a noun after it, and naturally a pronoun would do the same thing as a noun. To plus a noun or pronoun, like to the store, to New York. It's the direction. You're going toward it. That's the way you're going. To New York. This is a preposition to, because it has a noun after it. Then there are other spellings of the sound to, T-O-O, which means also this and also that. I want some candy too. I want some ice cream. I want some candy too also. To can also mean more than enough. I don't need that much. So I would say that is too much. We need less than that. He is too tired. Two is, T-W-O is the number two. So we've got two number, two as in more than enough, two as in also, two plus a noun, which is a preposition, and two plus a verb, which makes an infinitive. An infinitive is what we will talk about today using correctly. Now we have this section, to plus the verb form one. Remember the 5 verb forms, this is verb form one, and it's the only one that will go after a to make an infinitive. And when you put the to with it, that verb is no longer a verb. It's just the concept, the thought, the idea, but it is not part of the verb in the sentence. As far as the structure, subject, verb, and then object or whatever comes after the verb, it's not the verb. So we do the same thing with ing at the end of one of these verbs, and no helper, it's not the verb. So to make is not the verb. To make that cake is the verb, difficult. And sometimes, but not always, making can take the place of it. Making that cake is difficult. To make that cake is difficult. That can be either one, but this is an infinitive. It's like it's stuck together. It's been melded together. You cannot separate it. It is one thing in the sentence. To make that cake is difficult. That cake is difficult to make. Is the verb. This is not the verb. It's the idea of making, but nothing is actually happening in this. We're just the concept. The idea of making a cake is difficult. To find a good friend is my goal. I could also say finding a good friend is my goal, and I can reverse it because a linking verb many times can be switched back and forth. There's no direct object, so I can say my goal is to find a good friend, or my goal is finding a new friend. This is the verb. My goal is the same as to find a good friend, the concept of it. His mistake was to wait too long to answer. What was his mistake? This mistake is the same thing as to wait too long to answer. To answer is also an infinitive. I'm just emphasizing this one. I could say his mistake was waiting too long to answer. Waiting too long or to wait too long. It's the concept, and it matches mistake. Was is the verb. Here we have a conversation with Brent, Carol, Keith, and Evelyn as the characters who are talking. The question we are asking them is, which activity have they decided to do to relax? Now we've got to do and to relax, but I'm not going to discuss the question, just their answers. Okay, Brent has decided to read a science fiction book. Okay. Has decided is the verb. What? To read. That's what he decided on. This is the verb. Carol has decided to try a new recipe. Has decided is the verb. Has decided what to try. Keith and Evelyn have decided to go to a movie. Have decided is the verb, not to go. No one has decided to go to the park. Has decided is the verb. What did their boss tell them to do? The boss told Brent to organize supplies. The boss told Carol what? To enter the new data. The boss told Keith to plan their next meeting. The boss told Evelyn to send emails to all customers. What? To organize. What? To enter. What? To plan. What? To send. The to is very important. You can't leave it out. So I'm just using the initials now. What do you want to eat? Brent says, I want to try some barbecue. And I can't really say I want trying. That doesn't work. After want, it's hard to do that. I love to eat a pizza. You can switch to eating. I love eating a pizza, or I love to eat a pizza. But you can't say I love eat pizza. It won't work. I choose to eat a steak, or I choose eating a steak. But you can't say I choose eat a steak, because you've got two verbs that are right beside each other, and that's not what you want to say. I choose to eat a steak. I hate what? To eat meat, or I hate eating meat. And that was Brent, Keith, Carol, and Evelyn. Now we go to the next question for these four. What do you like to do in the summer? Brent says, I like to go sailing on the lake. He could also say, I like going sailing on the lake. I like to travel by train. I like traveling by train. But I can't say, I like travel by train. I like to play golf. I like playing golf, but not I like play golf. I like to visit the beach, or I like visiting the beach, but not I like visit the beach. Next question, what do you have to do tomorrow? Now I'm saying something that I have no choice. It's a responsibility. I have to do it. Brent says, I have to go to the dentist. He doesn't have any choice. The reason he's going is because I have an appointment. This is a possession that he has. It's like, I have this. It's an appointment and it's mine. That's a different meaning of have. This means I have a responsibility. I can't get out of it. I have to do this. I have what? To go. I have an appointment. I have to renew my driver's license. It has expired. This is a verb phrase using has. I have what? To renew. And remember I said sometimes we'll say I have to renew my driver's license. I have to, or I have to buy groceries. This is the verb. This is not the verb. I have no milk or eggs. I have the responsibility to pay bills. I'm not paying bills right now, but that's my responsibility, the identification of the responsibility. I have lots of them. I have them, they're mine, I own them, they're my possession, lots of bills. I have no choice. This is something that is my responsibility, and it's I have what? What are you planning for your friend's birthday? Brent says, I am planning what? To give him a nice shirt. Evelyn says, I am planning to take him out to eat. That's nice. Keith says, I am planning to buy concert tickets for him. And Carol says, I plan to have a surprise party for him. I am planning is the verb what? Direct object. Another question, more samples. What do you need to do for your family? Need is one of those also, you can't really switch it to the ing form usually. Brent says, I need to spend more time with them. Evelyn says, I need to help my kids with their homework. Keith says, I need to buy birthday presents this weekend. And Carol says, I need to take pictures of us together. What are you going to do after work today? Brent says, I am going to go bike riding. That's a little funny having going and go, but this is I am going is something that I'm looking forward to. I'm putting this idea in the future. In the future, this idea to go bike riding. I am going, that's looking ahead to the future, to this thought of to finish reading a book. I am going to finish reading a book. I am going to wash my car. I am going to clean my whole house for company. I am going to go fishing. I am going to go dancing. I am going to go hunting. Now, it's possible to leave the to go out completely in these and just make this what you're going to do. I am going where fishing. I'm going where dancing. I'm going where hunting. This is a summary of different verbs that you can use infinitives with. It's not all of them, but these are the most common. The most common are, I hope to become a teacher. Hope to become. He wants to win. And I can't really change that. He wants winning. He likes to eat bananas. Or he likes eating bananas is okay. She loves to watch the sunset. Or she loves watching. She loves watching the sunset. She hates to be late, or she hates being late. He yearns to be famous someday. Can't switch that one. They need to work hard. Can't switch it after need. Ask, this is a command. You ask to go home early. Know when to be quiet and when to speak. I could say know how to do something. It also works with other words besides when. But know is the verb. And I can't say know when be quiet, know when speak. It needs a to. Look at these sentences. They're wrong. Mike likes to drink cup of tea. Mike likes what? To drink a cup. I even left out as a special check. Mike likes to drink a cup of tea. Barry loves read science fiction. Jenny wants go home now. Tom needs read book. Susan hates fly in a plane. Take a vacation is important. It is important take a vacation. Pay bills on time is necessary. It is necessary pay bills on time. Here we go with the correct answers. And notice twice I forgot to add the A when I typed it, so I wrote it in. Mike likes to drink a cup of tea, or I could say Mike likes drinking a cup of tea. Barry loves to read science fiction, or Barry loves reading science fiction. Jenny wants to go home now. I can't really do that switching to ing after wants. And Tom needs to read a book. I can't switch it with a verb after needs either. Susan hates to fly in a plane, or Susan hates flying in a plane. To take a vacation is important. I had to add to. To take a vacation is important, or taking a vacation is important. It is important to take a vacation. One other little summary. Evelyn and Keith and Brent and Carol ask and answer questions. Evelyn says, what are you planning to do this weekend? Keith says, I want to go camping with my family. Brent says, I plan to stay at home to repair my back door. Carol says, I need to visit my aunt. What about you, Evelyn? I have to make a cake for my son's birthday. Brent says, what would your son like to get as a present? Evelyn says he wants to receive a new bike. Carol says, would you like to have dinner at my house next Saturday? I want you to see my new house, and I love to cook. Brent says, I would love to see your new house. And Keith says, and I would love to eat what you cook. And Carol says, okay, I expect to see all of you next Saturday. Okay, that's our introduction to infinitives, a plain form of a verb with to in front of it, and it's not the main verb. So I'll see you next time. I hope that helped.